Hello, everyone. This is Lewis with A.C.F. Home Inspections. This presentation is for first-time home buyers or anyone else who would like to uh, view this information. My company name is A.C.F. Home Inspections. We have our phone number listed below. So for first-time home buyers, we're going to run through this a little bit, or anyone purchasing a home. Uh, We're going to talk about selecting an inspector, so that way we'll give you a little bit of knowledge and background uh, or a resource that you can use to select an inspector. Okay, so does anyone know this guy? This is Mike Holmes. They actually have another show out there called Inspector Joe. Reason I bring these guys up is a lot of times people watch HGTV and they go through, and it's a little funny that they'll associate that with a home inspection. Technically, what they do is not a home inspection. They do have certain aspects of a home inspection, but they're doing things on a TV show home inspectors cannot do. So your home inspector cannot punch a hole in the wall, rip walls out, dismantle components, as you see on those shows. We have certain guidelines and standards we have to go by. So you want to be sure that you uh, go through and read your standards of practice. So when you're hiring a home inspector in the state of Florida, you want to check and make sure that they are licensed in the state of Florida. You can go to myfloridalicense.com. That will give you the inspector's info if they're in there. You can find, I believe, your home inspector, contractor, real estate agent. Just about anyone who's licensed in the state of Florida will be there. If they're not there, they may be licensed under another department, maybe Department of Health or Department of Agriculture, which governs the termite inspectors. You want to check and make sure that your home inspector is a member of a national association. I'm a member of NACHI. There's several different other associations out there, but this is the one I belong to. You can actually go to that website, uh, nachi.org. They have tons of information in there. If you have to find a home inspector, you can actually go there. They have areas where you can find an inspector in your specific area. One of the big things that we say you should do is read the standards of practice. Like I was saying, Mike Holmes and Inspector Joe do not have a standard of practice on their show. They're just doing what they call a home inspection, but that's truly not what a home inspector would do. A home inspector has standards of practice that are set forth by their association, and in some cases, in some states like Florida, we're licensed and we have state laws that we have to follow in the inspection industry. That's my website. You can go there. We have plenty of information. You can see our team on there, our reviews, you get a sample report, uh, and we have other videos in there that you can look at. So we recommend you visit it. We also have our, like I said, our sample reports. Excuse me. You can just click on them, and you get to see a sample of exactly uh, our reports. We actually updated our report a little bit. That one's a little older, but it's still pretty good report. Okay, when you go there, you check their website, check sample reports. That way, you know what you're getting. Um, if you buy online, you want to see a picture of the product that you're purchasing. So you're hiring a home inspector and you're not sure what you're getting. That's not a good idea. I wouldn't purchase anything that I don't have a description and a picture of. So ask for a sample report of any of the reports that you're getting done. Okay, this license is expired, but this is during the pandemic. I should have updated it, but it is current. This is what the home inspector's license looks like. I am also an employee of a pest control company, and that would be my ID card as an employee of that company. So we did that so we can provide a faster, more accurate service, and plus it helped us learn about WDO things. If you want to know if your inspector has experience or is experienced, hire a certified master inspector. That means that the person with this certification has accomplished 1,000 inspections or has the knowledge and experience of performing 1,000 inspections. Alrighty, things to ask your home inspector. What kind of tools does your home inspector carry with them? We carry infrared cameras, we have drones, we have microwave testers, we have outlet testers. So back in the day, infrared camera is very expensive when I first started out. We still purchase one, but now the price has dropped. So every inspector should have a infrared camera, and they should use it. We use ours at every inspection that we go to, and we actually put the pictures of the items into the report. So we use it to check the HVAC temperatures, the appliances, your water temperatures, if there's any stains in the home. We can check them with the infrared camera, see if there's any active moisture. That's just one of the things we like to do. Uh, is your inspector trained and licensed to perform all the basic services? So the basic services, you're going to need a home inspection. So we know if they're licensed and certified through a national association, they can perform those. WDOs, do they work with a company? Do they own a pest control company? Uh, or do they work with someone who's certified? Back in my early days, I used to have a pest control company meet me at the property. They would perform the inspection. They would give me the report, and I would include it in with the inspection report. So that way, all of it was tied in together, and you would have one basic report. You didn't have to search around for anything. The other ones that we have, these next two, wind mitigation and 4 point, are insurance inspections, or they're more forms than inspections. So on the wind mitigation, the uh, insurance company wants to know the last permit of the roof, what the shape of the roof line is. They want to know what's holding the OSB of the roof decking down. Is it a staple, 2 inch nail, 2.5 inch nail? What's holding the trusses down to the exterior walls? Is it a toenail? Is it a clip? Is it a single wrap? Is it a double wrap? So these are reports that we have to fill out the information and take pictures to document what uh, we're putting into the report. So that gives you or gives the insurance company the view of what's there, and they determine what kind of discount they will provide. Now, 4 point. 4 point is normally for older houses. The insurance company wants to know the age and condition of the roof, your HVAC system, what type of plumbing you have, and the age, your electrical system, what's the age of the electrical system, what kind of wires do you have in there? Are they aluminum, copper? Are they cloth coated? Are they newer Romex? Uh, so once again, we have to fill that out and document it with pictures. Now you have mold evaluations. Some companies don't do mold evaluations. We got trained in this just so that we have the knowledge to know where mold may possibly be uh, in the home. So if it's visible, there's something that we can put down, tell you the suspect mold, try to direct you towards someone who can either perform a mold inspection or air sampling, uh, so that way you can have those things checked. Okay, so this is state law in the state of Florida. So the inspector is not required to insert any tool, probe, or device into any electrical component. Okay, so uh, if you're hiring Cheap Charlie, they may want to follow the law 100%. And technically, how would I check an outlet? Because an outlet is an electrical component. I could just normally just look at it. but you want to make sure that your home inspector uses a outlet tester to test to make sure it's working. Uh, that way you know that there's nothing wrong with that outlet. Okay, we know that by state law, it's an observation of the visual and apparent condition of the components in the home that the inspector is checking. On number 3 here, the inspector is using normal operating controls and opening readily operable access panels. They put all these things in there so you can understand what the inspector is required to do by law. And some of us take it literally, but some of us older guys, and even some of the newer guys actually go through and they do a more thorough inspection. Because we go to number 20 here, it says readily accessible. Is available for inspection without requiring dismantling. So technically, what that's sort of saying is we're not required to remove the panel cover. So that would be considered dismantling. Uh, and up here, they give you the definition of dismantle: to take apart or remove any component. So your electrical panel has a cover on it, has 4 to 6 screws. I have to remove those screws to remove the component, uh, which is the cover. We do it here at home at A.C.F. Home Inspections, but as we can see by law, it's not an actual requirement. The only time I have not taken an electrical panel cover off, it's either obstructed that I couldn't get to it, or the screws were stripped and the what was left of the screws would have to be drilled out. Okay, so we'll go to HVAC system. The inspector is not required to determine heat supply adequacy or distribution balance, and he's not required to determine cooling supply adequacy, distribution balance, or indoor air quality. So the AC turns on. Uh, Technically, it's functional. That's why we use our infrared camera so we can take temperatures and demonstrate that it was functioning and cooling at the time of the inspection. Okay, so we covered some of these inspection types. We know we have a home inspection, termite inspection, which would be for the lender, mold inspections, which we would do air sampling. If required, they're very expensive nowadays. Some companies, the prices vary depending on where they go, uh, but it is costly. Wind mitigations, which is for the insurance company. 4-point inspections, more for the insurance company again. So you want to make sure that you contact your insurance company to make sure to see if you need either one of these. Don't just purchase everything just because it's there. Just make sure that it's something that you need. Your insurance agent will be the one to tell you. They'll look at the home and tell you, yes, you're going to need one, or no, you don't need it. We're okay. So make sure you check with them before you go and spend the money. Septic systems. If your home is on a septic system, the inspector does not check septic systems. It's beyond the standards. You want to make sure to contact a septic company to come out and check it. Your home inspector would not know if it's on a septic system or not. They may be able to determine a little bit, but you want to ask your realtor, see if it's on the disclosures, because a lot of times your realtor can contact the seller's agent or contact the seller, and they may be able to tell you if you're on uh, city sewer or septic. If you're on septic, we recommend that you get it checked and inspect it, because that's beyond the standards, and the home inspector has no way to see what's underground. Pool inspections. Most inspectors will say they do pool inspections. I do not call it a pool inspection. We'll look at the surface components, but to do a pool inspection, you have to get into the pool, and there's a lot more to it than just looking at the components on the surface. We look at the surface components and make any notations of things we find that may be incorrect there. But we always recommend that you get a pool company to come out and do a full pool inspection to ensure you don't have any leaks and that everything is functioning properly. New construction. We also recommend if it's a new house that you get it inspected. It was just built, and you will be told that it was inspected by the county. And that is true. The county came out and inspected it to make sure that it meets all the current building codes and what's on their blueprints. They don't go through and check every outlet. They don't open the windows. They normally won't climb into an attic. So your inspector does something different. We do not do code inspection. We do uh, functionality and safety inspections. So if we feel something's unsafe, we let you know. If it's not functioning as intended, we'll let you know that too. So we always recommend, even if the house is new, to get it inspected. We may not find that much, but then again, you never know. I found houses that have outlets with no power, appliances that don't work, uh, breakers that trip when you turn on the appliances, attics with no insulation. So things like that can get taken care of before you move in. So we always recommend that a new construction inspection be performed. Okay, so you go through, you ask your home inspector if they do any package discounts. If you do more than one inspection, will they honor some type of discount? Normally, most inspectors will, but you have to ask for it. Make sure that they apply it. Okay, so now we're going to run through. You are the buyer of the home. You want to inspect the home before you contact a home inspector. So you're doing what's called a buyer's pre-inspection. That's what I call it. You want to check on the outside. You want to check on the inside. We're going to start on the outside. So you want to look at the roof. Make sure that it's not worn, that there's any missing shingles, any discoloration, anything that looks out of the ordinary. You want to make sure that you take a look at and address it with your realtor before you contact your home inspector. Walk around the outside, look at all the exterior walls, windows, doors. You're looking for any damage, any discoloration, any broken glass, anything that's out of the ordinary. Check your HVAC system. You have a big hunk of metal with a fan on top. Normally it'll be on the left side, right side, or somewhere in the rear area. You want to go inside, make sure you have what's known as the air handler. It's usually in a garage, in a closet. Sometimes you may find it in an attic. It's that sort of rare, or hanging from the ceiling in the garage. Uh, Make sure that they're present. So walk around, look for anything that's out of the ordinary in the home. Okay, now the interior. So we're going to walk inside. So you want to check the ceilings and walls for damages and stains. Any signs of suspect mold. So if you have anything that's green, it could be black. If it's fuzzy and it looks like it's growing on the surface, more than likely it would be suspect mold. You will not know what it is till you get it tested. So that's very important. Look inside the closets, behind the doors. You may have damage behind the door. You may have suspect mold behind the door. You may have damage to the wall. Uh, so don't be scared. Just look inside. You're purchasing the home. Check underneath all the cabinets where you have sinks in the bathrooms, in a laundry room, in the kitchen. Look for stains. Check the plumbing. Like I said, you may have uh, different type pipes in there. You may have stuff missing, stuff that's leaking. Look for signs of suspect mold. Technically, a lot of times it's where you may find it. In a dark, damp area is where mold would tend to grow. Okay, check the windows from the inside to see if they're damaged or the doors. Open the doors. Don't be scared. You're purchasing the house. You're inside. Open all the doors. Walk out through all of them. See if they're functioning as intended and that they're not damaged, rotted out, or stuck. Okay, you've done all this. You hired your home inspector. What's the most important thing to do after they send you the reports? Read them. A lot of people tend not to read the reports. And then later they call and say, "Oh, I didn't see that on the report," and they didn't read it. My system will tell me whether you opened the report or not. If you do not, our office will be calling you to find out if there's an issue, because we want to make sure after you spent all this money that you read your reports. Okay, so we're going to run through a couple of quick pictures here. So what do we have here? We have a pool. Pool is green. That's all we can tell you. It's septic. Uh, the appraiser may put this down as an issue. Then you won't be able to get your loan. So you want to make sure that the pool is in a condition where you can go swimming in it, not get sick or any bacteria or anything like that. Okay, so you're looking at the house. We talk about the roofs. So you drive up to the house, and what do we have up here? We have a tarp. So the question would be for the realtor, are they going to fix that? Is that going to be in the contract? Because more than likely, you can't get down payment assistance. You may not even get a loan or insurance if this is an ongoing thing, because they're going to look at the pictures. They may even send their own person out to take a quick look. So right here, we know we have a tarp. That means there's an issue going on with the roof. Okay, so these are things we're looking for. Remember, I said look at the roof. Here we can see there's damage here. We see that there was a patch repair or shingle replacement. That means something happened here. That should be on the disclosures. We want to know what went on there. We see the roof shingles are not properly installed. We know the tree that did it. We see the tree branches. So you don't have to be a detective or rocket scientist. We can see that that's what was causing the issue. Make sure that the tree is trimmed away. You're going to have a roofer check this repair. And walk inside. We say, what? Look up. Look at the walls. Look for stains. Here we have a stain on the ceiling. Every inspector is going to tell you there's a stain or a moisture stain on the ceiling that should be further evaluated. So we have our lovely tool that I hope every inspector uses. We have our infrared camera. We come out and we check the area. We can actually see it's purple in several areas. So we can note that there's possible active moisture present that could indicate that there could be a leak somewhere that should be investigated, further evaluated to find out what's causing the moisture on the ceiling. Take our electrical panel covers off. Sometimes you find things that are weird. Um, we can put down that the coating is pulling back on there, but we don't know why. Once again, we pull out our infrared camera. We can actually see that it's glowing here. So that's telling me it's overheating. This guy's okay. See, it's going to get a little hot, but this guy is not normal. We already know that the coating pulled back, so we know the wire is overheating. We want to get an electrician out there to find out why this is happening, because this could be a potential fire hazard in the future. Here we go. We're inside the home. We looked up. The house looked like it was freshly painted. We have a small stain started bleeding through here. So once again, I go get my infrared camera, and the infrared camera shows the purple signs of moisture there, and it shows a bigger area, which was not visible with the naked eye. So right there, we have to get that checked, find out uh, why we have moisture there, and if there is an active leak in the attic. Here's a house. The one room was hotter than the other. They were both on the second floor. Walked into one room, I was good. Walked into the next room. Uh, it was really hot. I was starting to sweat. It didn't feel comfortable. Uh, so we get our infrared camera, seep through, and as we can see here, looks like they did not put insulation from the purple spot up. The wall temperature is 92.7. That's why the room is hot. And that'll keep happening. These walls had to be open, and the insulation had to be put in. It's very costly, excuse me, especially nowadays with the price of materials. So there's things that we can find sometimes with the infrared camera that you can't see with the naked eye, and we want to go through and put in as much information in and as much evidence as we can, so these things are visible on our reports. Okay, we were talking about plumbing, looking at the plumbing underneath the sinks. These are polybutylene pipes. They are gray plastic flexible pipes. The insurance company does not like uh, these type of pipes. They may or may not insure you. Some insurance companies won't even insure you with these. Some will. So you want to look at your water lines underneath the sinks, at the toilet valves, at the water heater, to see if you have any of these gray pipes, so you can correct the issue before uh, you apply for insurance. It should be on your disclosures, uh, but sometimes I don't want to beat up the seller. The seller has no idea what polybutylene pipes are, and they're the ones filling out these disclosures. Federal Pacific panels. If you have a Federal Pacific panel, it's a little harder to get insurance. Doesn't mean you can't get insured, but there's less and less companies willing to insure these. It'll say Federal Pacific on it, or it'll say FPE. Either or, one of the ways you can tell, you see these breakers are have red markings on them, but you can see some of them have been changed out over time. But read the labels. The label will tell you. It'll either be on this label here on the door. You can almost see it here. It says Federal, or it'll say it right on the thing there. But somewhere along the way, even stamped on the panel, it may say FPE. Okay, so we'll play the short video. These are videos that we put into our reporting system. Most people don't, but I like to show everyone what's happening. So that was a video there of a leak underneath a home. We go to the next one, and this is one we were checking the sink. It started to leak. So once again, there we'll have a picture and we'll have the video in our report showing that the leak was present when we were there. And this is what we do with our infrared camera. These are pictures from the infrared camera you'll find in your AC. We only did one of each, but we'll put more than that in there. We know your AC is working because the temperature is 41.9 degrees. We know the water heater is working because the hot water is 117 degrees. Here's your cooktop. We know it's working because we can see the burners are all on, including the warmer. This is the freezer temperature. It's minus 2 degrees, 2.6 degrees. Uh, well, that was the end of this part of the presentation. Hopefully, this is helpful for everyone. If you need any additional information, please feel free to contact us. That's our number and our website. So visit our website, look at the sample reports, and hopefully this will be helpful to you in the future when purchasing a home or going through the down payment assistance program. It's just a quick little guideline, but it always helps to have a little additional knowledge. God bless you. Happy hunting if you're looking for a home. And like I said, if we could be of any help or service, please contact us.